can help people with asthma breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. So this is better. Even this. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that's not for sudden breathing problems. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Tell your doctor right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
Let's birth this baby.
From the morning show to the White Lotus, we've got your star-studded sneak peek at all the new TV.
I'm having a ball.
Be sure to join us tomorrow for that. Lots of good stuff coming. Okay, before we go, remember when Vin Diesel, a.k.a. Dominic Toretto, said this?
You don't turn your back on family.
Yeah, even if they aren't yours. Check out this viral video.
Happening now.
A mother accused in the death of her 5-year-old son sentenced to 15 years in prison. What the judge had to say to her coming up.
How many 100-degree days we're likely to string together, and Debbie's rainfall. How much so far and how much more in just a bit.
Vice President Kamala Harris has chosen her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. If you don't know who he is, we'll introduce you. The News at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, more than 3 years after little Dominic Aguilar Acevedo was found dead on a Colorado hillside, his mother, one of 2 people charged in his death, has been sentenced to 15 years in prison.
This is a story we have been covering from the very beginning. So let's take a look at how we got to where we are now. In August of 2021, KSAT got a tip that a search was underway in Colorado for a child who had died here in San Antonio.
A couple of days later, the body of Dominic found in a ravine in Fraser County, Colorado. About a week later, Daniel Garcia, Aguilar's boyfriend at the time, and Aguilar herself, arrested in Florida and brought back to Bexar County.
It took 3 years to get to trial as both sides had trouble getting evidence from the FBI. The next update in this case would come on May 8th of this year when Aguilar accepted a plea deal in exchange for her testimony against Garcia.
A couple of weeks after that, Garcia's trial begins. And 8 days later, a jury found Garcia guilty of injury to a child causing serious bodily injury.
More than a week after that, Aguilar was expected to be sentenced, but the court found out that she had lied about her immigration status, so her plea was withdrawn. And that brings us to today.
Erica Hernandez was at the sentencing hearing this afternoon and shares what the judge had to say to that mother.
You have earned every single day of the 15 years that you plea bargained for.
Judge Velia Mesa did not hold back as she sentenced Nicole Aguilar to 15 years in prison for injury to a child by omission. Her ex-boyfriend Daniel Garcia was found guilty of injury to a child causing serious bodily injury in May. Aguilar accepted a plea in exchange for her testimony, which the state said it needed in order to convict Garcia.
In these types of emotional cases, it's tough to put together the words to say to the court. But at the end of the day, Judge, no matter what I said, the child will always be dead.
Aguilar's defense team asked the court for a 12-year sentence, saying she has taken responsibility and knows she did wrong. But Judge Mesa didn't agree.
They want me to believe that this Nicole loved Dominic. And sadly, that's not what I got from the trial of this case. The right thing to do was the first time that he laid hands on your son to stop him.
Aguilar will get credit for time already served, and she is eligible for parole after serving half her sentence.
This case is not over yet. Next week, Daniel Garcia will be brought inside that same courtroom, the 226, and Judge Mesa will be the one to sentence him. Now, his range of punishment is different. He's facing anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison. At the Cadena Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
A deadly shooting at a garbage dumpster. And San Antonio police say this was all an accident, that the gun went off when a man slipped and fell. Katrina Weber walks us through how this happened and what police believe set it all in motion.
San Antonio police calling it a deadly freak accident. A man heading out to take out the trash ends up shooting and killing himself. They believe he was heading down this hill, walking in all this water and mud when he somehow slipped and dropped the gun. It went off, wounding him in the chest. The police did find the gun and the trash bags right here. The man made his way down the hill where he called for help. He was rushed to a hospital, but there wasn't anything anyone could do. He died as a result of his wounds.
Now here's an up-close look at that scene. This is at an apartment complex on Starcrest Drive, not far from Jones Maltzberger. The shooting happened around 6 a.m. You can see the muddy mess that police say caused the man to fall. They found his gun still on that hill among the bags of trash. But paramedics picked him up at the bottom of that hill and rushed him to a hospital where he died. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll hear from a neighbor who says that she tried to save that man's life.
Her family calls her a young woman full of promise taken too soon. Family, friends, and brothers and sisters in uniform came together today to say their final goodbyes to Deputy Meredith Portillo. The 20-year-old Bexar County Sheriff's deputy killed more than 2 weeks ago in a crash on I-37, along with one passenger that was traveling with her. Today, a celebration of life for Portillo, who was held at Cornerstone Church. She's remembered as a vibrant, motivated, caring woman of faith with a heart for sharing, whose life made a lasting impact.
Her spirit will always echo in our hearts, reminding us to cherish every moment that we have with one another and hold tight to the bonds of family.
Heroes are forged in life, not death. Because she served our community, I'd consider her to be a hero. And a hero remembered never dies.
Following this morning's service, Portillo laid to rest in a private burial ceremony.
Let's take a look at traffic out there right now. This is the TransGuide camera here at Highway 90 at Meadow Creek. You can see traffic is at a crawl as cars try to merge on an already packed highway out there. No indication what's causing this backup, but definitely something that has drivers stopping and going, just not going very far along Highway 90. Let's turn to the forecast now. We did not do it, Adam, but that number over your shoulder is close enough.
It felt like it feels like it's 102 right now when you factor in the humidity. But you're right. Technically speaking, at least so far today, we haven't hit 100. I say so far because this time of year, when we get the update at 6, sometimes it's a degree warmer. So our count still stands at 12 100-degree days so far this season. 98 right now, but that dew point is 66, makes it feel like 102 and not much of a breeze to help cool you off and move that air. Shirts in Frank's backyard, 101. You go to Jim's backyard and Shirts, 99, 98 Bulverde, 101 Micah, 100 Lavernia. This is a little more typical of what we see this time of year. Climatologically speaking, it's the hottest time of year in San Antonio with an average high temperature of 97. And that's as warm as our average gets. As we go through the evening, falling through the 90s, then through the 80s. By midnight, we'll be at 85 degrees. We have Debbie to talk about and our string of triple digits on the way in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. In the race for the White House, Vice President Kamala Harris has chosen Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate.
The selection caps the governor's short but swift ascent from a relative unknown on the national stage to a leading driver of the Democratic Party's attacks on former President Donald Trump and the MAGA agenda.
CNN correspondent Julia Benbrook joins us live from the White House with the latest on this. So, Julia, what do we know about this selection process?
Well, we know that this was the most accelerated vice presidential selection process in modern history. And Walz went from a third-tier candidate to a top contender very quickly. They're actually making their first joint appearance, Harris and Walz, right now at a rally in Pennsylvania. Got some video, I think, to pull up for you there. But Harris is already speaking about the fact that they're in Pennsylvania, in another top contender state, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. He came out and spoke before Harris and her new running mate came out on stage, and he made it clear that he is going to fight to help them win in Pennsylvania. Now, back to kind of Walz and how he was selected. This has taken place at an accelerated pace, and she met with Walz and some other top contenders on Sunday.
Vice President Kamala Harris selecting Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate.
Would you be my running mate and let's get this thing on the road?
I would be honored, Madam Vice President.
The joy that you're bringing back to the country, the enthusiasm that's out there, It'll be a privilege to take this with you across the country.
The 60-year-old emerged as a favorite for some high-profile Democrats and labor unions. A source familiar with the process says that Harris was impressed in part with the governor's authenticity.
I'm not interviewing for anything. I'm just am who I am and put it out there.
Walz is a veteran and former congressman who represented a conservative-leaning rural district for 12 years. Prior to that, he was a high school football coach and teacher.
I don't know if every high school geography teacher expects to be in this position at some point, but it is very strange to be running on my treadmill and have people talking about the things that are there.
He's already proving to be an effective messenger. He was one of the first to refer to the top of the GOP ticket as weird, a talking point that has gained traction in recent weeks.
These guys are just weird. That's who they are. So it isn't much else. Don't give them the power.
With less than 100 days to go, Harris and Walz will hit the ground running, appearing at a rally in Philadelphia Tuesday evening and making several stops in battleground states throughout the week.
And we know throughout this process, Harris was looking for a governing partner as well as someone who could help her get elected. A Democrat familiar with the process described what she was looking for as the 3 C's: competence, chemistry, and core values. Reporting live at the White House, Julia Benbrook, KSAT 12 News.
All right, Julia, thank you. We also want to mention that rally there, we do have that live streamed on our website at ksat.com.
It's still to come on the news at 5. She may be 95 years old this year, but she's not slowing down anytime soon. And we want you to meet her. Katrina Weber got to talk to the woman behind Ma Harper's, a restaurant down the street from Fort Sam Houston. She's been serving customers for the past 33 years.
The power is in your tongue. When you say, I can do it, no matter how hard, you get it done.
That story when we come back. Coming up tonight on the 6 o'clock news, a full circle story. Last year, we headed to Haven for Hope to interview some teens who graduated high school while experiencing homelessness. Now there's a full youth program at the Haven and a dorm for them. Courtney Friedman takes us there tonight at 6. And keeping the doors open for more than 30 years, a big accomplishment for anyone in business.
Yeah, but keeping that business going at the age of 95, that is legendary.
As Katrina Weber shows us, a local restaurant legend known as Ma Harper has a lot to celebrate.
We getting out this heat.
All right. Ooh, this is a world of difference out here.
Even when she can't stand the heat, Ma Harper doesn't often get out of the kitchen.
I don't just feel better.
She heads up the restaurant bearing her name, serving the community from New Braunfels Avenue near Fort Sam Houston's gates for the past 33 years. That's after decades serving her country as a civilian aircraft mechanic for the Air Force.
I work F-15, F-16, F-100.
Now, instead of planes, she works with plates.
We got rice ready, gumbo ready, beans ready.
Creole cuisine from her native New Orleans. Born Alice Olivia Martinez, she took on the name Ma Harper after opening her doors. As the second of 16 children, she learned her way around the kitchen at a young age.
I cook as if I was going to eat it. You're not going to eat what I won't eat.
For her, it's not only about the menu. She's made it her mission to feed the hungry all over town.
I asked God, what could I do to give back what you gave me?
Through the years, Harper has been honored, even given national recognition.
Happy birthday to you.
Now she's being celebrated for reaching the age of 95 with no plans to slow down.
Why? You don't die from working, you die not working.
Don't let her age fool you. Just as easily as she stirs the pot here in the kitchen, Ma can still mix it up with anyone who gets out of line.
Why we got both fryers on? Yeah.
Harper is tough in more ways than one. She's a brain stroke survivor who believes in positive thinking.
The power is in your tongue. When you say, I can do it, no matter how hard, you get it done.
And she plans to keep getting it done for as long as she can. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
She is not slowing down. And earlier today, Ma recognized at Bexar County Commissioner's Court for 33 years of service to the Bexar County community. Look at that.
That story made me both happy and hungry.
I was going to say.
At the same time.
Yeah.
And somebody thinks she said I won on a T-shirt. If you say I can do it, you can get it done.
That's right.
I like that.
By the way, congratulations, Ma, for your honor in front of the Bexar County Commissioner's Court, and happy birthday.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Outside, wonder if she has ice cream there. It's a good ice cream day.
It's plenty hot in her kitchen
Yeah.
today.
Just eat it quick, because if you take it outside, it's not going to last.
Well, according to my suit jacket, I should quit eating ice cream.
Is that what happened over there? We heard that part.
This is an older coat. It's been through the ringer, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
traditionally, men know you button the top button of your coat, right? And not the bottom. Well, I lost that, so I'm going to start a new trend and just button the bottom button because I don't have a top button.
Okay.
Mitch Penner, I hope you're watching.
Well, you know,
this is going to be the new trend now.
They do have tailors that can fix that button for you.
Oh, I know, and I'm going to have to do that.
All right.
It may just also be a sign that I need to cut my carbs a little bit, you know?
No. Casky fashion statement. We'll take it.
Yeah, anyway, everybody, just follow suit, if you will. Okay, let's get right to our temperatures. I feel so awkward. It's funny. I feel cool. I'm cool. All right, afternoon high temperatures. We're at triple digits the next at least 7 days, the way it's looking, up to 103 by Friday. That should be our hottest. But I do want to point out, when the center of the heat high really settles overhead in the days ahead, I do think there's a potential to be even hotter. We've had 12 100-degree days so far this year. By this time last year, 41. And this time in 2022, we had 56. So clearly not nearly on pace to the past few years. And yet last year, remember, any heat record that could be broken, we broke it. There's the upper level high. It's over North Texas. It's going to be waffling around between New Mexico and Texas in the days ahead. Still a little opening possible for a brief shower or two this weekend, but I'm starting to lose confidence. I mean, we only had a 20% chance in the first place, but I'm even losing confidence in that 20% chance. And then notice how the high sits directly overhead. That's why I say there's the potential that we may have to ratchet up those high temperatures in the days ahead. Wow, 10% chance Saturday, Sunday, and maybe even into the early part of next week. Not much to talk about in terms of rain chances around here. The big story for rain, and it's actually a good thing we don't have this overhead because it would be too much of a good thing. Tropical storm Debbie, it's barely moving. East-northeast at 3. It's basically drifting to the northeast. Still barely a tropical storm, but don't pay attention to the name or the winds. It's all the rain. Just look at the rainfall totals in the past 3 days. Big Bend area of Florida, 14.3 inches. You get around Charleston to Savannah, we're talking over a foot of rain. I even saw a rain gauge measurement of 17 inches just outside of the city of Charleston. So already a foot of rain in some of those areas, and this system's just going to keep drifting overhead for a few more days, dumping all that moisture into the Carolinas and coastal Georgia as well. So additional rainfall potential could be over 10 inches in parts of South Carolina and North Carolina. Over 10 inches. I was talking to my cousin earlier today. He's in Savannah. He was sending me photos, and the pond behind their backyard starting to get a little closer to their back fence. It's rising quickly. And that's the low country too. Doesn't drain very quickly or efficiently. All right, here's the next system we're watching. Really not much to it. A few thunderstorms closer to South America. That little batch is going to be heading westward. Only a 20% chance of it really developing into anything in the days ahead. And right now, even if it did, it would likely stay south of us in the extended forecast. But still, something to watch. We'll keep you updated. 79 in the morning, 94 at noon, 102 the high temperature. Not much of a breeze out there tomorrow. 103 Hondo, Del Rio up to 107. Cotulla, 106 the high temperature. We're feeling the August heat, triple digit days. We're starting to tally them up. Oh, you guys are looking good.
Yeah, man.
Look at these gents over here.
Bottom buttons only.
Yeah.
Bottom buttons. Every man just cut the top button off.
We're actually doing it out of respect to your lost button. R.I.P.
Lost button, but make it fashion.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is going to be a thing, I promise you.
Look at the support team you have
I
over
love
here.
this.
Trendsetter over there. That button serves well.
Very touching.
All right, the Poth Pirates, they are a perennial power.
Yeah, they are one of the best teams every year in Class 3A Division II. They made a deep playoff run last year. The year before that, they went to state final. So they're expecting another deep playoff run again. And UIW football and Carnot Word, they're hoping the heat gives them some home field advantage coming up.
Kids have played in some pretty big stadiums, so it's a 40-minute drive for our community, so we'll be excited about being there.
Coach Luna and his Poth Pirates are gearing up for their season opener at the Alamo Dome in Big Board Sports. The Poth Pirates expect to play football in December as we continue our big game coverage previews. The Pirates went 12-2 last season and a perfect 6-0 in District 15-3A2, while advancing to the regional final where they lost to Tidehaven 34-28. Now this is a new year and a slightly different team, but the Pirates are predicted to win district again. The seniors, well, they're looking forward to one last ride while representing Poth.
Excited and glad to take it out with these guys right here one last time. Senior year is a big deal, and we're just ready to go out there and play the best we can.
We all have a really tight bond with each other. Being a Poth Pirate, it's special. It really is. There's nothing else I can really say about that. We're all a big community together, and we love one another, and I love it here.
Being a Poth Pirate is amazing. Just the community together. We're together. We're a family. It's just a tight bond no matter what.
Well, we're a very talented team. We're young, but very talented. So I think if we perform, we'll go far.
Poth will start the season against Comanche in the Alamo Dome on Thursday, August 29th at 7 p.m. There's a little bit of payback on the minds of a Carnot Word football program after having a 9-2 record last season and not being selected for the playoffs. Now the team was in full pads this morning, throwing some weight around in the morning heat. The hot weather will be a little bit of a home field advantage, and offensive lineman Mason Williams is excited to put opponents through it.
When Northern Colorado comes down and they're, high altitude and they come down here and play in some Texas heat, and we're moving fast and we're playing tempo, it's going to be really hard for them to keep up with us offensively. And I think that's going to be the same case for a lot of teams we play. We'll be disappointed if we're not scoring every single drive. That's the standard that we have. We're going to play fast. We're going to put the ball in the end zone, and we're going to play bully ball up front. And that's what we're going to do.
Bully ball, some strong words from Mason. That first game of the season against Northern Colorado will kick off at 6 p.m. on August 31st. And in Little League Baseball, Bernie, a.k.a. Texas West, will face Louisiana tonight for the Southwest Region Championship. Winner will advance to the Little League World Series in Williamsport, PA.
And we will give you the results of
We will. Yep, coming at 6. We got it.
Can't wait.
Yep.
We'll be right back.
Educator of the Month, brought to you by First Mark Credit Union.
Yep, this school year we want to continue to recognize the amazing educators we have in our area, but we need your help. Nominate someone who's made a difference for a chance to win Educator of the Month. You can do that by scanning the QR code on your screen right now.
Every month, one special educator will be recognized for the work that they do, and they'll receive a $500 Visa gift card from First Mark Credit Union. And this isn't just for teachers. It could be a bus driver, a custodian, a cafeteria worker, anyone making a difference at your school. So scan this QR code to nominate your favorite educator for a chance to win.
Check out Biggie doing it right with the hose.
Nice.
Biggie, Biggie, Biggie. Can't you see? Sometimes the hose just cools down me.
We got to leave it there.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's nothing to